Hey, we are just a few days away from the OC. I just wanted to go through the the Teach Tracker with you. If you look down at the bottom, there are 54 total items that will be on EOC. 5 of them are griddable. 32 to 35 are the readiness, so it's these. And then 19 to 22 are your supporting standards. So the majority comes from the readiness. And we've covered the readiness quite well. So I do want to tell you that there will be 6 to 8 field questions on the test. So a field question is a question that the person or the company that makes the test puts these questions in there to see how well students do on it. And they might not, or they don't get counted as part of your grade. So if you miss, or if you feel like there's about 6 to 8 that are super confusing, you've never seen it before like that, don't be too hard on yourself because they might just be field questions and they might not even count. And you can always go through your test and be like, okay, I feel confident in this one, and count them up. And if there are 54, you want close to half of them to be right. That's kind of your goal. Get about half or more right. So if you can get, if there's some field questions, let's say 27 to 30 of them correct. That's your goal. So as you go through the test, put little check marks or smiling faces on the ones you feel confident about. Use your calculator as much as possible. And I think y'all are going to do just fine. But be confident in yourself and do the best you can. That's all you can do. So we have gone through most of the TEKs. There are a few that we haven't, but we are going to use our calculator today to make sure that we're ready for questions that will be similar to what's on the test. So let's look at reporting category 4. This is all about quadratics. So I'm going to read through them, and I want you to think, do I remember learning this or not? So A6A says determine domain and range of quadratic functions. We've covered that. The domain of quadratic is always all real numbers unless they restrict it. 7A, graph quadratic functions. And then identify key attributes, x-intercept, y-intercept, zeros, maximum, minimum, vertex, and the axis of symmetry. We have done each of those things. A7C, determine the effects of the graph on the parent function whenever it's changed. This is like your transformations. Whenever your parabola is moved up, left, right, if it's stretched or compressed, that is that skill. A8A, solve the quadratic equations having real solutions by factoring, taking the split, completing the square and applying the quadratic formula. We've done quadratic formula. And we have also found the zeros by graphing it and looking at the zeros. So we have not done those specific ways of solving, but that's okay. We have solved quadratic equations. A6B, write the equations of quadratic functions. So if we're given a graph, we can match that graph with an equation. Write the quadratic equation given real roots. If we're given the solutions, we can match that to a quadratic function. So we're good there. Describe the relationship between our linear factors and the zeros. So yes. And then write using technology quadratic functions to estimate. So this was with our calculator when we did quadratic regression. So we have completed the quadratic functions unit. Today, we are going to look at A10E. This is a readiness standard. So there'll be 2 to 3 questions on your test that is about this. So I'm going to teach you a shortcut on this. And then after the OC, we will learn how to do it algebraically So we are just going to focus on the shortcut right now. So it says factor, if possible, trinomials with real roots, including perfect square trinomials. So we are going to look at that today. 10b, multiply polynomials. We have done that. 10c, it says determine the quotient of a polynomial. We really haven't done that, but we are going to use our calculator on problems similar to that today. 10d, rewrite polynomial expressions using distributive property. We have done that. Decide if a binomial can be written as a difference of two squares and use a structure of difference of two squares. We have not done that. 11a, simplify radical expressions involving square roots. We have done that. So there are just three that we need to know how to do using the calculator. So that is why I passed out this. This is A10E. This is a readiness skill. So there will be 2 to 3 questions on your EOC about it. Factor, if possible, trinomials with real factors in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c, including perfect square trinomials of degree 2. So number 1 says factor the expression. If we are factoring, we are getting an equivalent form. We want the same equation or graph. / table. So when we factor, we'll see that they are the exact same. If I look at this one and I look at this one, if I put it into y equals, put this one into y1, and put our answer choices into y2, we're looking for them to be the exact same. You can put them in individually, or y2, y3, y4, y5, and then just see which one is on top of the other. So let's go ahead and do that. So go to y equals. I'm going to clear out the memory on my calculator so it's all set back to the original. Okay, so in y equals, let's put our original equation in. And this is a quadratic function because it has the squared. I don't like my graph to be too overloaded with a bunch of stuff, so I'm just putting in one at a time. So I've put in answer choice A, and I'm going to go to graph. And I want to see if they are the same exact. And they are not. So A is out. So now go back and change 2x minus 3, 5 minus 4x is the same. Go to graph. Oh, so it graphed the blue one. Did you see the red go right over the top? That means that is the factor. You can also look at the table and see that your y1 and y2 are the exact same. Just to make sure, because I want to be 100% that this is the right answer, because I want to count this as one of my correct answers that I'm going to count toward that 27 to 30. So I'm going to go to y equals, and I'm going to double check everything. I'm going to do the next one. Nope, not it. Nope. So I know for sure that this is the right answer. The next problem, the area of a rectangle is 6x squared minus x minus 12, and the width is 2x minus 3. Which expression best represents the rectangle's length? So remember with the area is found by doing length times width. So it's saying that the area is 6x squared minus x minus 12, and it equals the length, something, times the width, 2x minus 3. So that means 2x minus 3 will be multiplied by some expression to get the 6x squared minus x minus 12. So we would need to multiply each one of these times 2x minus 3 to see which one gets the 6x minus x minus 12. But we could also use the calculator because I want this to be multiplied by one of these answer choices and it equals this. So I'm going to put this into y1 and then put this multiplied by each of the answer choices into y2. So I'm going to clear out what I have in there. I'm going to put what the area is. Then I'm going to put in the 2x minus 3 times one of my answer choices. So I'll go to the first answer choice. 4x minus 3. Because it's supposed to be equivalent, right? It's supposed to be the same exact. Hit graph. Are they the same? Did it go? Oh, no. It didn't go right over the top, so that's not it. So go to the next one. What am I changing whenever I go to that next one? Yep. I keep the same 2x minus 3 because that's part of the problem. That's the width. So I just changed the length. So that's 4x plus 3. There. Why are you not doing it? Are you doing it?
No.
Okay, you can see what it is. Then go and do the next one. 3x minus 4. So look at how I graphed J, and then the red goes right over the top of it. So J is our answer. Three, 4 are the same. 5 and 6 is the same. 7, there is a mistake on number 7. This should be minus 8.75. There was a mistake. Okay, so it says the expression x squared minus x minus 8.75 factors as x plus 2.5 times x minus a. What is the value of a? So we are going to draw our box like we are multiplying. We know that our first binomial is x plus 2.5. And we don't know what our second one is, but we do know that this is x. And we know the outcome is supposed to be x squared minus x minus 8.75. So let's go ahead and multiply what we do have. So we have x times x is x squared. We have 2.5 times x, 2.5x. So we need to know what goes down in these two boxes. This x squared is already there. That's your top left box. These two, whenever they're combined, should give me a negative 1x. This one should be a negative 8.75. So let's put that right here because that's our constant. It's going to be our two constants multiplied together. So I need to find out 2.5 times negative something, negative a, to get negative 8.75. How can I find out what 2.5 is going to have to be multiplied by to get negative 8.75? Divide it, yeah. So we're going to take 8.75 divided by 2.5. Equals 3.5. And let's just double check that that works. Let's do negative 3.5 times x. Negative 3.5x. And if I add these up, what do I get? Yep, negative 1x, negative 8.75. So that is the same thing that I was looking for. So it says, what is the value of a? So what goes as a? But it already has a minus here. So it'll just be 3.5. So 3.5 is your answer. Whenever you put it in the griddable, you can decide where to put it. Just make sure you bubble the positive because we know it's positive. And then you can go ahead and do the 3, decimal, and then 5. You can leave all those other ones blank. See how my little griddable is? Kind of missing some spots, but you know, you get the idea, right? All right, let's look on the back. We've done one like 8. We've done one like 9. We're going to skip that one, skip that one, skip that one. Okay, let's go to 15. Which of the following is a factor? Okay, so determine if it is a factor. We are going to take a little shortcut. We are going to take what we're given. We're going to put it into y1. We're going to write the trinomial. And we are going to divide them. So we're going to put our answer choices here. And what we're going to look for, if I take a trinomial and factor it and divide it by one of those factors, when it graphs, it'll be a line. If it does not graph a line, then it is not a factor. If it's a factor. So we're going to go to y1. We're going to do alpha y equals so we can get that fraction up there. And we're going to put it in as our trinomial divided by one of the answers and see how it graphs. If it graphs as a line, it is a factor. So we are going to go to 6x squared plus 13x minus 5. Then we'll put our first one in, 2x plus 5. Graph it. Looks like a line to me, right? If you're unsure, you can always hit zoom out just to double check that there's no veering off from that line or any asymptotes or anything like that. And yes, it's a line. So that is our answer. But we want to be 100% on this, right? So let's go to y equals and let's change the denominator to the next answer choice. So we're going to change it from 2x plus 5 to 2x minus 5. And if we were right, this one won't be a line. So let's graph it, see how it looks. Looks like a line. But then it does a funky little thing. See that? That means that it's not a factor. So G is out. Let's go back. Let's do the next one, 3x minus 1. Does that look like a line? Did I do something wrong? That looks like a line too. Uh-oh. So let's go to the last one. 3x plus 5.
Because both of them, when you multiply them, it equals 6x squared plus 13x minus 5. Which is why you get both sides for both of them.
Maybe it's Jesus. It changed. All facts.
Okay, so this is,
That's what.
mine changed whenever I zoomed in. Like I regraphed it, I guess. I don't know. So this is answer choice J. I don't know what happened. All right, and then let's look back at that other one. 3x minus 1. Let's see. Did yours come out as a line?
On the 2x plus 5, there's a regular line.
Okay, so 2x plus 5. There is that little break right there. So that's where x is at like -3. So let's look at our table. Let me zoom into that. why does it have a break right there? Yep, there's a break in there. So it's actually H. I saw that when I first graphed it, and then I zoomed out, and I was like, well, maybe it's okay. All right, let's look at 17. Factor the expression 54x minus 36x squared. So this is where we find our GCF. What number will go into 36 and 54?
6.
6. How many times will it go into this one? But is there a bigger number there?
8.
You paused your video.
8.
18.
Did I?
9. 10.
No, I'm back.
Oh.
She
paused it when we were talking.
Oh, 12.
54 divided by 12? No. 54 divided by 6? Yes. 36 divided by 6? What'd you say? 54 divided by 18? Oh. 36 divided by 18? So it's 18. And then how many x's do they have in common? Just an x. So which one has 18x factored out? All of them except for J. This one has a negative, but the negative is not our first term, so we don't have to do that. So let's do 18x, and let's divide each one of these by the 18x. 54 divided by 18, we just did that, that's 3. X over x cancels out. Negative 36x squared over 18x.
2.
Negative 2x, yeah. So it is F. But we can check our answer by putting in what they've given us and then our answer and making sure they're the exact same because it's just factored. So 54x minus 36x squared. And then 18x, 3 minus 2x. I need to change my calculator. Zoom standard. And does it go right over the top? Yes, it does. So F is the answer. So I can put a little happy face on it. All right, I want y'all to hang on to this worksheet. We might look at it again Monday. Your EOC review is what you need to finish for homework. It's due Monday. I'll let y'all ask a couple of questions. So on 6 and 7, it's asking you which expression is a factor. So how are we going to do that? Yeah, put the answer choices. And what are we looking for? Yeah. So this is 6, 7, and 13 are just like that. All right, so I'll let y'all ask a couple more questions on Monday about the COC, and then you'll turn it in on Monday.